Canada is probably the only nation in the world where the Prime Minister imposes a tax and tells people, I am taxing you, but you are actually going to make money on this. In order to understand that, you have to stay tuned, because before that, I have to ask you, please ask your friends to subscribe, keep us on the air, donate, PayPal, and Dan McTeague is my guest. He's a Liberal member of Parliament for 19 years when the Liberal Party was the Liberal Party. I don't understand that. And I understand now why the Tories are saying axe the tax, because it's painful to a lot of people. But tell me all about it, because I've never understood how people accepted the Prime Minister saying, we're taxing you, but we're going to give you a check back for almost as much.
This is the same dumb idea my party pushed in 2008 with the green shift. And
that didn't last long.
Well, no, but I mean, is it the enlightened voters who realized what a crock this was? Look, you're not going to give people something, some money back based on the idea that you're going to create inflation that's greater than the amount they're going to receive. Look, if you think that reducing a particular gas is going to somehow change the weather, like a bit of a control knob, then I got some great deals on last year's snow and buckhorn.
If it's only doing it in Canada, because you shut Canada down, it's not going to make any impact. And all the experts say that as well. But we have someone in the government, aside from Trudeau, who's saying, you know what, we're going to get rid of gas engines. Diesel engines is all going to be electric.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane.
It is insane.
It's
so what about the taxes then?
We have the one tax, the carbon tax, which people will realize by 2030 most will be worse off. Now, I don't say that. The parliamentary budget officer says that. We have a second carbon tax, the clean fuel regulation, the clean fuel standard, which of course is going to impose another 20, 30 cents a litre to the price of diesel and gasoline. And then you have a third carbon tax. That's the one where Stéphane Guilbeault and his little fantasies as far as being the former green anarchist that he was, has said, I'm only going to go after the oil and gas sector. That'll be the one that represents 10 to 12% of your GDP. What does that mean? 10 to 12% of your economy he would like to throw in the garbage. He believes it can be replaced. Sure it can. But how many billions and trillions of dollars of subsidies have you got? Last time I checked, people have got that money to cover it.
And also, when we have LNG, the Prime Minister said when the other nations wanted it, there's no business case for that. And we're shutting down that industry as well when the world is asking for it. They're starving for it.
Qatar, Australia, who says they're big on the climate stuff, signed billion-dollar deals on LNG. That's why they're world leaders.
To the people who want to buy it from Canada, and our Prime Minister sent them away.
And so we sit back, we sit on our hands, and we wonder why our hospitals are overcrowded, why our infrastructure is falling to pieces, why Canadians find that the Canadian dollar's value is so weak, because we have nothing in which people want to invest in this country. Instead, we have a government increasing the debt burden, likely maintaining high interest rates for years to come, while denying the country, the world, a country that has the third largest provable reserves of oil, fifth largest of natural gas in the world. The world wants it. The only one saying no, our Prime Minister and the Liberal Party. That's not the Liberal Party I once represented.
It is a bit of a fantasy land, though, but not only is it fantasy, but it just doesn't work.
If only it did. And it's not dropping the amount of CO2 now, is it, if that's the issue. So the reality is that, unfortunately, it's a bad policy. Canadians are tuning into this. Don't just axe the tax. Mr. Polyev, axe the taxes, axe net zero.
3 minutes. Dan McTeague. Thank you. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.